So, have you ever been there? You're trying to manage a server remotely, you click the launch button for the console, a file downloads, and then just nothing? It's one of those super common, super frustrating tech mysteries. Well, today we're going to put on our detective hats and solve the case of the failing Java console for Dell's Idrac. We'll figure out why it breaks and, more importantly, how you can avoid the headache for good. Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to talk about the whole reason we need these tools in the first place, the remote control problem. Then we'll meet the original hero of our story, the Java console. After that, we'll get into the juicy part, why that hero fails so often these days. And don't worry, we'll introduce the modern successor, HTML5, and wrap it all up with a simple playbook so you can get on with your work. All right, let's set the scene. The heart of this whole thing is a challenge that every IT pro faces. You simply can't be everywhere at once. You've got a server to manage that could be in the next room, or it could be on the other side of the planet. And we're not just talking about running a few commands, right? We're talking about getting into the guts of the machine, even before its operating system is up and running. So how in the world do you do that when you can't physically touch the keyboard or see what's on the screen? I mean, think about the really critical stuff you have to do. You've got to power the machine on, get into the BIOS to change a setting, figure out why it won't boot, or maybe even install a whole new OS from scratch. You need a tool that basically teleports you right in front of that server rack. For a long, long time, the answer to this problem was this really powerful piece of tech that, back in the day, honestly felt like a little bit of magic. The Java Virtual Console, built right into Dell's Idrac. So what was it really? Well, in simple terms, it was a special program built on Java, especially for those older Idracs like the Idrac 6 and 7. What it did was pretty brilliant. It would grab the server's video, keyboard, and mouse signals and just stream them over the network right to your computer. Boom, full remote control. Now, the way it was supposed to work was this neat little chain reaction. You'd download this special file with a .jnlp extension. Your computer was supposed to know, hey, this is a Java thing, and hand it off to your Java installation. Java would then fire up and connect you to the server. Simple, right? But here's the catch. If any single link in that chain breaks, the whole thing just falls apart. And that, right there, is the heart of our mystery today. This old hero, our Java console, really struggles in the modern tech world. So let's dig in and look at the 3 most common reasons this whole process grinds to a halt. Ah, yes, this one. This is probably the most famous or infamous error of them all. You try to launch the console, and Java itself just slams the door in your face, yelling about security. So what is actually going on here? It all boils down to a trust issue. Your modern, super secure version of Java takes one look at the old security certificate from the Idrac and basically says, nope, I have no idea who this is, and I'm not trusting it. The fix? You have to manually go into the Java control panel on your computer and add the server's IP address to what's called an exception site list. You're basically telling Java, hey, it's cool. I know this guy. Let him in. Okay, problem number 2 is maybe even more frustrating because it's so anticlimactic. You click the link, the JNLP file downloads, you double-click it, and nothing. Not a thing happens. Your computer just sits there staring back at you. This one's actually pretty simple. It's a file association problem. Your computer's operating system literally has no idea what a .jnlp file is or what program is supposed to handle it. It's like someone handed you a locked chest but forgot to give you the key. The fix is to install the key, which is a program like Java Web Start or its newer replacement, Open Web Start. That program knows exactly what to do with that file. And that brings us to our 3rd big frustration. This is the one where you get so close. You get past the security warnings, the file actually opens, a window pops up on your screen, but it's just a blank black box. You're right there at the finish line, but you can't see a thing. You know, what's happening here is basically a communication breakdown. Your modern computer is trying to talk using the latest security languages, protocols like TLS, and the old Idrac is speaking an older dialect. They just don't understand each other. Now, the absolute best fix is to update the Idrac's firmware. That teaches the old server the new language. If you can't do that, the workaround is to go backwards and install an older version of Java, like Java 7 or 8, that still speaks that old dialect. Now, we've spent all this time being tech detectives, figuring out how to fix these old Java problems. But what if I told you there's a much, much better way? A new hero has already arrived, and it's probably built right into the browser you're using. And this just lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the Java console. It needs a whole separate installation, it's finicky with modern browsers, and its security is outdated. Honestly, not great. But then you look at the HTML5 console. It needs zero plugins. It just works right in a browser tab. It has great compatibility and way better security. It's an absolute no-brainer. So, after all our detective work, what's the verdict? What should you actually do? Let's distill all this down into a really simple, actionable playbook for smooth, hassle-free remote management. Okay, here it is. Your 3 key takeaways. Step 1. Just use HTML5. Dive into your Idrac settings and make sure it's the default option. It's the native, no-fuss choice. Step 2. Keep your Idrac firmware updated. Seriously, this solves so many security and compatibility problems before they even start. And step 3, especially if you're working with an Idrac 8 or anything newer, just forget Java ever existed for this. You know, the whole story of the Idrac Java console is a really great reminder to take a step back and look at the tools we fight with every day. And it leaves us with one final question to think about. What other old legacy tech in your workflow is creating friction you don't need? And is there a modern, simpler alternative just waiting for you to find it?